Hello again everyone. Well, Panasonic is a brand of vacuum cleaner I don't often feature on my channel. I've plenty of Hoovers, Electroluxes, Sharks, Dysons, pneumatics, but there are certain brands that I don't really have very many cleaners, and Panasonic is one. I have the Icon, which is one of my favourite uprights. I also have another Panasonic upright with the edge cleaning brushes, but I don't think I've ever shown you so far until today a Panasonic cylinder cleaner. This is a Panasonic MC-E862, and I think this model is from the 90s, could be the early 2000s. I'm not sure exactly when this dates from, but I always remember it, seeing this machine in catalogues and things, and always quite liking the look of it. It's not a sophisticated advanced cleaner, it's fairly basic. But when I saw this on eBay on a buy it now, new in the box, I thought, well, I'll give it a go. It might be interesting to show my viewers. So here it is. I've had a sneak peek, I have to be honest, because I bought this a while ago on eBay, and it's always a good idea to check things when you get them. So we have an instruction book here, and this covers lots of different model numbers. There's probably a few different variants of this available in other countries possibly. We've also got one spare bag, paper bag, quite small, isn't it? This is type C-2C. Yeah, very small. It does have a closure. I won't do it now, but you can close the entrance to the bag. I did buy, though, some other bags for this. Non-genuine, but they are an improvement on the genuine bags, because these are a fleecy material. And this is the only time I would recommend not having original bags, especially if you've got an older cleaner. If the older cleaner you can buy this sort of bag for, always buy this, even if it's not genuine. In my opinion, they're better than the paper bags. So I got some of those quite cheaply on eBay, I think it was. We just got a little guarantee card, obviously no guarantee on this cleaner anymore, and we've got a list of authorised service centres. But Panasonic have withdrawn from the floor care market. They certainly have in the UK. I'm not sure about other countries, but we no longer get Panasonic cleaners, which is a shame, because they did quite a decent bagged upright vacuum cleaner, good value, quite popular back in the day. So here's the hose. It's a swivel top, so it also swivels at either end, but it swivels when it's in the cleaner as well. You can see the handle end swivels, and you've got your little suction relief valve as well. Two extension ones on this. I'm not sure if it illustrated a telescopic one. Perhaps there was a model that had telescopic ones. I've no reason to believe. Oh, I'm sure I had this open. Let me just check something. Just see if it does actually illustrate two. Oh, it does illustrate two wands. I thought I'd had this open and I can't seem to. Perhaps I didn't. Well, this is the first time I'm opening the wands then. Must have just, yes, I think I just left them in actually, that's right. When I checked it over, I didn't bother taking the wands out of the packaging, because I knew I wouldn't have time to do the unboxing when I got this, so I just gave it a quick check. So two metal wands. I forgot I had this. A little bag slide. Note, this part is to be used for reusable paper bags only. Do not throw away. And the spare bag that comes with this isn't reusable. It's sealed at the end, and I think these won't be reusable either. So at least you get a clip. I expect the genuine older bags for this would have been reusable. Now, because I thought I'd opened this, I haven't got anything to open that with, so I'll just get a box cutter and open that. So this is a very familiar nozzle from this period, and many different brands of vacuum had a nozzle like this. So it's quite a basic nozzle, but at least it has a nice shiny metal sole plate litter pickers either side of the suction inlet. You've got side suction channels as well. 2 little wheels at the back and a foot operated pedal. It's set to carpet at the moment with the brushes up, but press down on the pedal and you get a row of brushes at the front and a little squeegee at the back there. There's also a little slot. I think there is a parking bracket on this cleaner. So that's all the tools, but there are tools on board as well. So here's the cleaner. So this is obviously being stored somewhere, probably in someone's attic or something. As I find a lot of my new in the box older cleaners tend to be sort of found in lofts or backs of cupboards, or possibly even maybe given as a wedding present and not used. I'm not sure, but it's always nice to get an older cleaner that's new, even though this is not by any means a vintage vacuum cleaner. As I said, it's from the 90s or early 2000s, but it's nice to have one that hasn't been sullied by a lot of dirt and been battered about. Okay, let's have a look in a bit more detail at this Panasonic MC-E862. So here it is in a very attractive royal blue colour with some grey as well and gold accents for the writing. There's something about the shape of this machine I like. It wouldn't have been expensive back in the day. Not budget, not quite budget, because Panasonic did quite a few vacuum cleaners when this was in the shops, and they would have done more basic machines than this. This does have automatic core dewind and it has electronic speed control and built-in tool storage. They would have done some more basic machines with just a single speed motor, no onboard tools, and possibly not as good as filtration as this. This has got filtration, but it's obviously it's not a HEPA filter. It'll be just a micro filter. Now, if I can remember, I think the tools are stored under this panel. Yes, here's the top cover. You can just see it's got the Panasonic logo and a hole there where the bag check indicator shows through. And look, there we have the onboard tools, which consist of a dusting brush, which is quite stiff. That lives in there, and we have an upholstery nozzle for your upholstery, your curtains, your stair carpeting, and finally quite a short crevice tool at the bottom there. So they store on board and you can access the tools easy without having to turn the machine off. Some vacuum cleaners you have to switch off, and we can just place the cover back on there. So underneath the tool compartment we should find the bag, which should be under here. So there's a release catch just here to remove the cover. The whole cover comes off completely, giving easy access into the bag. There's the underside if you want to have a look at that for any reason. And here we have the fitted bag, which we can slide out. So I'm going to actually insert one of the fleece bags. I'm assuming it's the right, yes, it is the right shape. I'm sure I got the model correct. It is bigger, so this will give, I think, slightly better airflow, and it might maintain its suction a bit longer when it's full than these smaller paper bags. So this is the bag compartment, and we have quite a basic filter, pre-motor. All that is a dense sponge. I expect I can wash that if needs be, but vacuums of this era, I think most manufacturers recommend replacing filters. They weren't really sold as having washable filters, many of these. So that is quite a coarse pre-motor, so it's a good job I've got the better filtration fleecy bag. So that just slides in there, and we'll just see where the exhaust filter is on this, because I've forgotten. Oh, well, it's underneath this panel here, but how do we access it? Ah, there we go. Ah, so it hinges. It's quite a while since I had a quick look at this, so I've forgotten how it works. So it hinges at the back, and then we've got the post motor or exhaust filter. There's a little grill there. And that, I don't think that doesn't seem washable. I'm going to give it a smell because it looks like it's a charcoal filter. I'm not really sure. But it certainly doesn't look as washable as that sponge. I expect I can still buy replacement filters for this. It's not that old, so parts shouldn't be too hard to get. Because you can see there, that's where the filter fits. So we'll just pop the filter back, the filter pad into the machine, and then this grill that holds it in, and that fits in place there, and we can just close the cover, and we'll pop a fleecy bag in. Is it going to fit? Now it doesn't look, but it probably is. Let me just check. As with many vacuum cleaners, you can't use them without a bag in. Well, many bagged vacuums. And this Panasonic is no exception. It won't let me close the bag door without a bag in place. So we'll pop that in. I think that's the correct way. I don't see it going in any other way. And then we'll just make sure the bag's all tucked in nicely and not hanging over the edge. So still got a nice seal all around, and then we'll just pop the cover back on. There we are. So that's the bag in place. We'll just have a quick look at the control panel. It's a pretty standard layout, isn't it, for a basic cylinder vacuum? We've got a foot operated on-off switch, foot operated automatic cord rewind, and in the middle here we've got a variable speed control, which is slightly stepped. It's not a smooth action. I can feel slight resistance in between each setting, but we go from minimum up to maximum. I'm not sure. It's 1300 watts it says on the box, so when it's on max it'll be using the full 1300 watt power. And we can see at the back here, this is where the cable comes out. Obviously it's got a fitted plug, and it's actually, I don't know if we can see, but it's branded Panasonic. So the cable just pulls out, obviously, and then we can rewind it. It'll be a bit sluggish because it's just come out of its box. I think after a few uses that will loosen up a bit. We've got a wheel, obviously, 2 wheels at the back. I think this cleaner's made in Spain. We'll find out in a minute, because it should say on the back. We've got a front swivel caster. That's quite nice and smooth. It's a reasonable quality, this machine, certainly better than a lot of Chinese made vacuums you can buy today. We do have a bracket here, a storage bracket, which should fit the main floor tool. There we go. And also, if I can get that off, there should be a parking bracket, I think. Whoops. Is there? Oh no, I don't think there is. Oh yes, there is. Or is there? Oh no, I thought these were these 2 parts. But no, it doesn't look like. I can't see any sort of parking bracket on there. So, right, here's the underside of the cleaner. Got a lot of writing on that label. We'll just have a quick look at the rating plate here. So this is a Panasonic model MC-E862 UK 230 to 240 volts 50 Hertz, 1100 watts, 1300 watt max, number 528518, Panasonic España SA, made in Spain. And this sticker here basically tells you how to wire a plug if for any reason you need to remove the moulded on plug and fit your own. Okay, time to switch on. Pull all the cord out. Oh, is that it? Let's just check that. Oh, yes, that's it. So I'll just let it go in a little bit more. Wow, that is quite a short cable on this machine. But it's nice that it is colour coordinated in the grey. I'm not sure if it's going to turn on because I've been fiddling around, haven't I, with the on-off switch. I'm going to start it in minimum though. Let's plug it in. Nice bit of suction there. I've got my suction gauge, so we can have a look at the suction. Obviously, when I get my suction gauge out and just compare suction, it's just really a bit of fun to compare the suction, the actual suction power between various cleaners, from new ones to vintage. It's just something interesting. It doesn't obviously equate to how well the machine's going to collect the dirt. There's a lot of different combinations with vacuum cleaners. It's not just suction power. You've got to be aware of other things, the design of the nozzle, whether it's got an agitator, how effective that is at removing deep down dirt and pet hair. Obviously this is a straight suction cleaner. So as a general rule, and I think this rule still applies in this bagless, cordless world that we live in. Most vacuum cleaners, people seem to be liking buying cordless. But in general, if you've got lots of fitted carpet, an upright cleaner, or at least a machine with a rotating brush will be better, even if you don't have pets. If you've got a mixture of floor coverings, if it's mainly hard floor with a few area rugs, you're better off really with a cylinder cleaner. It's all down to personal preference. If you can afford to get more than one, get two. Get an upright and a cylinder. Well, actually, I think four cleaning appliances is what I would say. An upright, a cylinder, a cordless for day-to-day use, and of course a carpet washer. Well, 5 if you want a floor washer as well. If you can afford them, and if you've got room to put all those appliances. We need a manufacturer to make a machine that does everything, but I don't think that exists. Well, yes it does. Excuse me folks, I'm just looking in my drawer. Here it is. There are cleaners that, you know, the sort of 3-in-1, 4-in-1, 5-in-1 type machines that do claim to be able to do all those things, but they tend not to do everything very well. Okay, well, gonna start off on minimum. I like the way the hose comes out. It does, you see, it swivels, but it sticks up quite high. Instead of coming out sort of lower down, it sort of sticks up. I don't know if that's an advantage. It's not a very long hose. No, it's about 1.5 meters, I'd say that. Okay, as I said, we're just going to see what we get on the suction gauge. Sort of 80 seems to be about average of the cleaners I've tested, the cylinder cleaners I've tested. 80 seems to be a sort of an average suction, but we will see. I'll start off a minimum and ramp up. Now I think this went up to about 66 on the gauge, but when I blocked it off and increased the power, there was definitely, I could hear air rushing into the machine from somewhere else. So I think this cleaner does actually have a suction relief valve. Now I've done the wrong thing. No, that's not how it's that. That's how, I want to take that off. Right, there we go. Now, no, I thought that was it. No, that isn't it. Oh dear, what's that? Oh, just a little bit of foam off something. Yeah, I had a feeling that just there in the middle of your screen was the suction relief, but no, I think that's just where the front caster goes. But I think there is something I could hear, but normally you get a clue as to where it is, but not sure. I could see it, but yeah, I did hear suction entering the machine from somewhere else, which is a good thing because it helps prevent the motor from overheating. Because in the old days, vacuum cleaners that didn't have a suction relief valve, often they'd actually have a thermal cutout, even vacuums from the 80s. So if you use the machine with a full bag, or you used it if it was partly blocked and the air wasn't flowing through, obviously the motor will start to heat up, and many cleaners would have a thermal cutout that you could reset yourself. Sometimes you needed to press a button, and other times all you needed to do was unplug the vacuum, let it rest for 10-20 minutes and plug it in again when the thermal cutout has reset itself. Some manufacturers fitted thermal cutouts that once they cut out, that was it. You had to get a repairman in, which wasn't a very good thing, but anyway. But nowadays most cleaners have a suction relief valve. Most modern vacuums have a little spring-loaded valve that when it detects the airflow is restricted, the valve opens, allowing air to still flow through the motor, because it's the airflow that keeps the motor cooler. So when the airflow is blocked up or restricted, the motor will start hotting up and failing in some cases. Anyway, so I think without a suction relief valve that probably would have got to about 80. But we'll give it a go on the carpet, on my plush pile. It's a shame that it's not telescopic ones. Oh, it fits that way. All right. It goes over the handle rather than inside the handle. There we are. Just a bit of a push and a twist. Pop on the nozzle. I think this is going to be hard to push, as most cleaners are hard to push on this carpet of mine. But unfortunately, when I bought this carpet, I didn't take a lot of vacuum cleaners into the carpet shop to try them out. I think they would have been thrown out. But anyway, I'll give it a go. See how it works on this deep pile. I'll start it off on maximum, but I'll probably have to lower the suction power somewhat. Well, that was okay on this carpet, not horrendous anyway, but I had to reduce the suction to about the midway point on the electronic slider, because I could hear, and I hope you could hear, that when I had it on maximum, I could hear the suction relief valve cutting in from somewhere inside this machine. So I could still push it on maximum, but it was very hard. Even on the sort of midway section, it was pretty hard to push, but still doable. I know Panasonic did some cleaners, certainly in the UK, with an air-powered turbo brush, and I'll have to have a look online to see if I can get one to fit this. I think this is possibly a standard 32mm fitting, so I could possibly get a generic one, but obviously I would like to have a genuine Panasonic one to see if that works better. It'd certainly be easier to push, and that's what I've always found with cylinder vacuum cleaners. If you add a turbo nozzle or a power nozzle to them, they tend to be easier to push than using the straight suction. You can have a look in the bag. I mean, this carpet was vacuumed just before the demo, so I'm not expecting there to be really anything in it, but you never know. There is some dirt. I don't know if we can quite see in there. It has started picking up some muck, which is surprising because I've just gone over this area with my Sebo D4 Premium with the power head. But carpets always have got dirt in them. You know, you can vacuum them over and over again, and there's still going to be dirt in the carpet. And even if you've vacuumed very, very thoroughly, and then you go over with another vacuum, the second vacuum always finds more dirt. So I did get berated for one video, I can't remember which one. I was demonstrating a vacuum and I was going too fast, apparently. Well, you can't win, because sometimes I go slow and I'm told, oh, you're going too slow, that's not realistic. And other times I'm told you're going too fast. So in order to clean a carpet properly, yes, go as slow as you can, overlap the strokes, and also alter the direction you're attacking the carpet. So maybe the first time you clean, go in one direction across the room, and the next time go lengthways, and just mix it up. Go in all sorts of directions and go slowly if you want to get the maximum dirt extracted. But most people, especially today, when they just want a quick clean up, they'll whiz over very fast with a cordless machine, and the carpet will look clean on the surface, but underneath there's probably a lot of hidden dirt, which won't become apparent for most people who have just a cordless cleaner. Won't be apparent until that old carpet is removed and replaced, or they get a machine with a bit more power. So anyway, I'm going to put down a little bit of dirt for this Panasonic to end the video. Just a quick demo on the carpet, and that will be the end of today's video on this basic but quite striking looking cylinder vacuum. Well, that's about the end of my video on this Panasonic MC-E862 bagged vacuum cleaner. After using it for a short time, I'm rather taken with this little Panasonic. It's a very good performer. It's relatively quiet, and it's nice to use even on this deep pile carpet. It does actually work, although I did have to turn down the suction, but it does a good job on the floors as well. And I like the upholstery tool that I used briefly in this video. So all in all, yes, I would recommend one. Unfortunately, of course, it's not a machine you can buy anymore, unless you can see one on eBay second-hand, or even better, new in the box, which is fairly unlikely. I was lucky to find this one. But if you've got one, hold on to it, because I think it's a pretty good little vacuum cleaner, and you can still buy bags for it, and I'm assuming you'll still be able to buy filters for this machine as well. Well, that's it. If you have any comments or questions about this Panasonic cleaner, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new floor care video. So until then, I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.